The difference with this year is it's going to be an election year. There's a whole commission lawsuit reform that's going to hit sometime in July, from what they're saying. So there's a different mixture of things happening this year. Buyers still want to buy, but the affordability aspect is going to be a huge thing. And as a seller, I think that there's a chance that right now list to sold is at 100%. And it is still maintaining right there, but there's a chance that within those 100% that the sellers are starting to pay concessions, and depending on how good of an agent you have will depend on how much concessions that you're going to be willing to negotiate with that buyer. One thing that I do is when I take in a offer, I scrub that offer as detailed and thorough as possible, which means I'm calling the buyer, I'm calling the lender, and I'm trying to find out as much information as possible before I meet with the seller. So that way, when I'm explaining myself to a seller, I can answer the majority of all those questions right then and there, because I have all the documentation. I have the DU findings. I have the bank statements. I'm looking at everything within that buyer portfolio to determine, do we need to help pay for some of this cost, or are they just doing that because they feel that the market's changed and maybe we only got one or two offers. So that's where we have to maximize and strategize and find the best position possible to determine, well, do we work with this buyer, or can we just put it back on market and find another buyer who would be willing and happy to purchase this home with your terms? So overall, it comes down to experience. It comes down to the skill of the negotiation. And I've been doing this 20 years. I work with the number one real estate brokerage right now, which is eXp Realty. We are number one in transaction sites. We handle the most transactions compared to any other brokerage. 48 billion in sales volume. I mean, that speaks for itself. I'm specifically in Southern California, so I cover Orange County and Los Angeles. When we're talking about dialing in those analytics, I have all the micro data to help strategize and position, and that way I can advise you as the best listing agent possible in Southern California.